Hello, guys. Welcome to Hatchfoot Economics. Hatchfoot. And it's your girl Connie. And if you haven't done so already, you know what to do. Please, please, please hit the subscription button and the like button. You're going to like it. And be sure to hit the bell to get notifications. So, guys, I'm doing this special video. I'm doing this for someone that wrote into this channel, and they were very polite, and it was a man. I'm guessing it is an African American male, and he was like, you know what, Connie, you're always talking with so many facts. He was very pleasant. He was not rude, and he said, I have a couple of questions, and could you use your receipts and like fact base and say what's happening with black men? He was like, what's happening? So normally this is Hasper Economics. This page is for economic empowerment and financial freedom of women of color. And I normally don't answer these questions, but he was pretty polite. It was none of those verbs that I learned, and he wasn't rude. But he said three things that I felt like it can pertain to this channel. One, he wants to know why. Why do I think the status of the black community, the black man's having so many challenges? What is it? What do I think with all the research I've seen, with all the facts I've seen? What do you think it is? Okay, that's a fair question. Number two, he said, do you think we are aware? Do you think the message is out there? Do you think we have the opportunity to know whatever it is you're going to say? Do you think the message is out there? Okay. And number three, what can we do? So I said, you know what? Okay, that's not too bad. And I think the women that follow my channel will find it very interesting. So you might say, Connie, why is Louis Farrakhan up here? Because, wait. I'm Catholic. I am nowhere near Muslim or Nation of Islam. But if I was able to find this video is mad old. This video is like, let me see. No. This is 2015. And I'm not a fan of Louis Farrakhan. I have nothing against him. It's just not my cup of tea. Just not my cup of tea. But I know this person's very popular in the black community. Even if you're not pertaining, you hear what he says. He's a great speaker. You may not agree with what he says. I don't agree with what he says. But he does get the attraction of the black community. I see him on Hot 97 or 105 point. I don't know, but he's on the Breakfast Club. He's around. It's not a secret what he is. I just feel like this. This is guys, this is the reason. People make choices. And black men have made a choice. And that choice has devastated them economically. I made a post about this earlier on one of my Facebook pages. And that choice has devastated them. Just like, we have good choices and we have bad choices. We're human. We're going to make mistakes. But if we want to acknowledge that mistake and go forward, we have to acknowledge, damn, we messed up back there. Just like when I went to Junior's and I bought a strawberry cheesecake and I told myself that I was going to eat one slice a week. It didn't work out, son. I ate the whole cheesecake in about 3 days, probably sooner than that. I don't know. Just like when I was back in my big girl days, I thought I was Beyonce and I bought a blue sequins catsuit. It didn't work out, man. I was looking like the North Star. I was looking like the North Star. It didn't work out. We have good choices and we have bad choices. And sometimes in life, people make bad choices. So what's the bad choice? The bad choice is that the culture that the black male, not all, but enough that have taken up, is not being traditional. Meaning that the role of being a father, a husband, and providing a protector, traditional, stuff is not being followed. And I think that they have been given a false, I don't know what you call it, a false piece of crap, because I don't know where they're getting this from, because black men are the only demographic that seem to have this trouble understanding the balance that's out there, understanding the secret to success. Having a wife and family, I'm going to get right into it, according to economics, is a main driver for success. For example, before I click into the Minister Farrakhan here, when I used to go out with one of my friends, one of my best friends, I knew I made probably more than double than her. So whenever I went out to dinner, I would have to make sure I have enough for me and her, because the places I was taking her to, economically, she couldn't afford it. If we went on vacation, I would pay for her because I knew she couldn't afford it because I made that much more. It was just a given. We didn't argue. We didn't turn into a fight. I knew I was the older, more educated, mature friend, and I just played my role for as long as that friendship that rolled out. What is so complicated? I don't, if you're getting married and you're a man, at some point you have to anticipate your wife might get pregnant, and there's going to be even a period where she might not be able to work because she's either nursing or the baby gets sick. I don't know what happened to us, but I'm not here to talk about the what if and ands. You guys know me. If this is the first time you're hearing me, I'm fact based. I don't do the opinion thing. I'm a nerd, Optimus Prime, Transformers, Vegeta, Dragon Ball Z nerd, okay? So I'm not here to give my opinion in that aspect. I'm here to give you the facts. And the facts are Black men have made their choice. Not all, but enough to the point where you're messaging me on my page asking me, hey, can you read your receipts to see what happened? And what I'm going to tell you is we have made a choice. You have made a choice as a Black man not to embrace traditional roles. Who knows? You probably thought it was going to be the jump off. In life, you got choices and you make a choice, and sometimes that choice is good and sometimes that choice is bad. But what makes that choice detrimental to your success is when you keep making that same bad choice over and over. Like when I had that cheesecake from Junior's, I felt horrible. But what did I do? I went to the gym 3 times in one day. I put myself on a liquid diet for a week. I cleansed myself of that sugar. I had to work extra hard. But would it have made sense if I said, you know what, forget it. I'm just going to eat Junior's cheesecake 5 days a week. I'm going to have 5 bottles of Pepsi and Coke, even though I love soda. Everything in moderation. My whole point is you made a choice, and that choice has not benefited you economically. Okay, so we're going to play the Louis Farrakhan right here. We're not going to listen to the whole thing. But my point in playing the minister is this thing got it's 52,584 views, and it's over. And it's not just this version. This thing is like different versions all over YouTube. If I'm Catholic and I am not in that community, there's no way that enough Black men don't know this. So let's hear what the Louis Farrakhan says, okay? We're just going to play it real quick.
When I was a little boy and I had a girlfriend, she couldn't spend her money. And sometimes she had more than me. But when all my money was done that I spent for both of us to have ice cream from the ice cream parlor or some little thing that we would do, I would not let her spend her money on me. Because a real man don't let a woman take care of him. Can no woman love a man that she's taking care of? You become her child. Her voice is stronger than yours in the house. So don't even try to boss her around, because she the boss. And she knows it even if she don't say it. This bum, he don't have a job.
Mister, you ain't never lie.
I ain't never lied.
Listen, I'm so glad it's coming from you.
But my sister, this is real.
Yeah.
That's the kind of man I wanted to be. I told my wife when we were just girl and boyfriend, I don't ever want no man coming to my house taking my furniture. So I wouldn't buy it if I couldn't afford it.
So we're going to pause it right there. Again, if you want to watch the whole clip, I'll put it in the description box. I don't want to show the whole thing. But that's the point, is that this is not a secret message. This is someone that is black community, Muslim, whatever it may be. And he's saying this. And you see all these tabs. We're going to go through all these tabs. And this is why I'm saying the name of this thing is Killing Yourself Softly. Because economically, when you know you're anticipating a wife and a child, statistics show you're much more aggressive trying to get a higher salary. You're much more aggressive trying to get a high credit score. You're much more aggressive trying to get a career. You're much more aggressive trying to get higher in that workforce or starting your own business. Statistics show that because you're anticipating taking care of a wife and a child. And I'm not saying the girlfriend, I'm talking about a legal wife, someone who's going to be home, raising your children, running your household, taking your children to the museum, taking your children to Botanic Garden, making sure your children are doing good in school, taking care of herself, making sure she's going to the gym looking nice, making sure that, she's a happy, healthy wife. It's a role, and they're both equally important. Now, I do want to say, there's some feminist aspect that makes that challenging for even me as a black woman prior, because you have these fake statistics, then you have the real ones. Because I read reports where it was completely black and white, where women were happier, staying at home and doing that role. But because of what I've said before, Super Saiyan, Goku feminism, the extreme that doesn't really pay attention to black women and what we want and how we feel. Because right now we're suffering. We can't go through everything by ourselves. We can't have the anxiety, the depression. We're doing everything by ourselves. The statistics show that we're the most educated segment in society. I keep saying that. Statistics show that black women are opening up more business than any other demographic. So you're getting your education, right? You're getting the businesses, right? And you're also going out there, and we're like 70% of the economic spending power in the black community, right? So what else can we do? What if you're getting degrees and education and your income is getting higher, and you're getting you're getting businesses, you're opening up stuff. Like, I push for entrepreneurship, but there comes a time where mentally you need a balance, where you need a partnership, and not just any living Homo sapien. I'm talking about a partnership, a Bonnie to your Clyde, a Mickey to your mouse. All right, so I'm going to go into this other side over here. Okay, and here's another clip. I don't even have to play it. A real man don't let his woman work while he sit at home. And guys and girls, the reason why I'm playing these clips is to prove that this is not a secret what the black man must do to be economically successful. It's not a secret. I'll tell you a little thing personal. My family came from Jamaica. My mother and my father. My father has said several times, if he didn't have children, he probably wouldn't have been so successful, because he told me I would have been home, in a mango tree, eating a mango, sucking on the seed. Because he said, why would I have to do anything else? It's called motivation. It's called inspiration. Your child, your family, your wife, it pushes you. But somehow, some way, the modern black man does not herald marriage. He doesn't see himself as a leader of traditional values. He doesn't see himself as a leader, period. But yet, that's where all the strife comes from. We are the only statistical demographic with this problem. And don't even, guys, I'm good with the receipts. I've accounted for incarceration. I've accounted for all those statistics where people are just not there. I did it percentage wise. I'm talking about the culture. The actual culture of marriage is broken. Black men run away from marriage even when they date out of their race. I did a statistical study. Even when they date white women, even when they date Hispanic women, even when they date Indian women, even when they date Asian women, it does not matter. They lag behind in every other male. Even when they have a PhD, even when they have a master's, they don't have the same cultural marriage standards that other men do. Even when I went back to the math and I took Caucasian men out, and I looked at Indian and Asian, it actually got worse, because Indian people get married if they sneeze. Indian people get married if you turn the lights on. Oh, I see a human. Our eyes meet. That's it. That's it. We're going to get married. So I actually had to throw back Caucasian men so it could be normal. South American Hispanics, Colombian, Peruvian, Ecuadorian. I actually did this work. I have no life. I shouldn't say that, but I'm a geek. I'm a geek. But I did this math for you. And I saw the truth. The truth is there is a cultural consensus. Not even the black church is adamant about black and white, no pun intended, rules on marriage, meaning that it's not a big deal if you get married with a belly in the black church. It's not a big deal. They don't say you can't live with a man before you get married. And even if they did all that, it doesn't really matter if the men are not there. It doesn't really matter if the men don't follow it. It doesn't really matter if the men don't care. That blah 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 blah. You're wasting your time. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. That is detrimental. You made a choice. Like I said, we all make bad choices. Having fried chicken before bed, bad choice. Okay? Getting a wig with 6 different colors, bad choice. Wearing it to an interview, very bad choice. So, we all got to make choices. And like I said, we are human. Humans make mistakes. No one wants to crucify you, but you're hurting yourself because nothing motivates you more to do more than building a life. It's not even about the woman, it's about you building a life, passing down generational wealth, leaving a legacy, whatever your last name is, that legacy. If that concept is just not there for you, you're going to have a hard time. It's hard. It's hard. So let me just continue here.
Give the woman.
Hold on. I'm going to put it back to here. I don't want to hear the beginning part because it's kind of annoying. He's like rapping. Hold on. So, okay, hold on. Okay, the intro is mad annoying, guys. Just give me a second. Nah, I don't want to hear it. Hurry up. Oh my God, you're wasting my time.
They want a real man.
Listen.
And if you let her work and you stay home, ain't no way in hell she can honor and respect you. Because the nature of God in man is that he must provide for, maintain, and make a way for his woman and his children. But when you don't have a job, but you can make a baby, and you don't give the woman not even enough money to buy Pampers.
Oh, mercy. Go ahead.
How can she honor you, respect you, and love you? She saw something in you when she laid down and gave herself to you. But we disappointed her. That's why women fill up the church. Because Jesus is a real man. Ain't that something? Get your money, man.
All right. So there you have the second video. And this is not new. Let me see the views. About 11,000. This is from 2017. Okay. And this video is replicated, meaning that you can find the same clip over and over. What is my point? My point is, it's not a secret, son. It's not a secret what the black man has to do. It's not a secret. And it's not complicated. My parents are both professionals, but they took turns. When I was being, it was 3 of us. And my mom was able to stay home. My dad worked at 2 jobs and he did the college thing and he sacrificed. My mom made sure we got into kindergarten, 1st grade, and then she went to school part-time while we were. They understood. But I think the biggest problem is that I don't know, like, you guys just take this up and you're allergic to it. You're talking to a woman that worked in the bridal industry, in the physical industry for 5 years, and I still plan weddings on the side. It's something I love doing. I do it seasonally, but it's not complicated. It's just not complicated. And I feel bad that black men don't accept it. And the reason why I say don't accept it, I don't even want to take you to these comments. Some of these comments down here, look at this one. I cannot believe the number of my brothers, this is a black man, in the comment section that are disagreeing with this and making excuses why they cannot be the man of their household. We need to get it together. You understand what I'm saying? It's not complicated. It's not complicated. So here we're going to go right here. Okay? I'm going to play you another clip. All right? Another clip. And this is why the name of this video is Killing Yourself Softly, because you're hurting yourselves by you thinking you're going to get further, faster, higher by doing everything by yourself. And when I say doing it by yourself, I mean not having a life partner, not looking to have a wife, not looking to be a protector, a leader. And don't let all this modernism fool you. The most successful houses have the most traditional roles. And it's because I think the stigma of being a traditional woman, but it's crap because the most wealthiest homes have this structure. And it's not the woman's not working. My mom worked at home, cooking, cleaning, laundry, and not even that. She had to keep herself nice, going to the nail salon, going to the hair salon, working out. Yes, my mother worked out to get her nice slim figure back. My mom didn't play. And she was very, very connected to our education, making sure we went to the Botanic Garden in the Bronx Zoo. She planned trips. She planned stuff. She wasn't trying to sit home all day and watch Jerry Springer. I remember we never stayed home. Prospect Park and Botanic Garden and Coney Island and Virginia Beach. Like my mom was on it. She loved being a mother because she was allowed to. And my father saw that role as important and paramount to his children's future and to his legacy. This is old school thinking. I'm 38, so my parents are much older. So this is old, dusty school thinking. And that's what I'm trying to say. It's not complicated. It's very black and white. Is it a perfect structure? No. Can you put a flavor of modernism on it? Yeah. But you can't throw out the baby with the bathwater, because what's happening now, as a black man, if you're not motivated to get married and you're not motivated to have a child and you're not motivated to do things in that manner, you're not going to be really aggressive getting a job. It's just like when I went out with my friend that was broke, I knew if I went out with her that I had to have a certain amount of cash. And that pushed me and that motivated me to make sure I had that cash on me, or I just couldn't hang with her. So I'm going to play this other clip right here. I hope I'm making sense.
Get your ass up to date. Go out and look for a job. The word today is job. J-O-B. You hear me? Yeah. Go look for a job today.
Get your money, man.
Okay.
Get your bread
He does this annoying intro.
Black family. We're going to be receiving advice today from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, who has been married over 50 years.
The only way you can put a stop to male and female abuse of each other is you got to play your role.
This video is going to be tips and steps to become a better man or a better husband within a relationship. Step number 1, you cannot play your role without money.
Brother, you can't play.
Guys, the information is out there. I have to pause it because if I, as a black woman, say this, I'll get slaughtered or I'm crazy. That's why it's kind of hard for me. You see me, my face looks boggled when black men are asking me how. I'm glad he asked me. And I'm being very nice. I answered the question. But economically, this is why it's hard. Because if you know you have a wife and a child, or you're planning for that, you know that you need to get those means, any means necessary. When the Asians first came over here, believe it or not, they did not want to work with them. Asians did not want it. They were not welcome. They had all kinds of discriminatory slurs and stuff. I read my American history. You want to know why Italians are so big for Italian suits, Italian clothing? Way back when they came here, they faced ridiculous discrimination. Like, I learned so much stuff during this month. And um, making clothing and garments was considered low-class trash. And that's why now, of 70, 80 years later, they command the fashion couture, Versace, Moschino. Nothing fits you better than an Italian suit, Italian shoes. This stuff wasn't posh 80 years ago. They were like they were the freaking low life trash of the garment factories. When they came over here. Read your history. And guess what? They said, we're going to open our own stuff. We're going to do our own stuff because nobody would hire us. And that's what I'm saying. I'm saying if you want to know why, factually, This is common sense. If it's motivation, it's inspiration. It is being proactive. But if you say, I don't want to get married, I don't want to have kids, you're gonna live your life according to those means and probably can't even take care of yourself. Because if you are able, put it like this, if you're still with me, thank you. If you're able to take care of a wife and a child, that means you're pretty well off. That means you're going to be good too. It's a win-win situation. You got to look at things long term. If I'm able to pay for my friend and pay for her vacation, that means my salary was tight. That means I was making a good salary. Tight, not, tight means like that shit was nice. But that means I was making a good salary. So if you got to look at things that way. If you're able to leave a legacy and generational wealth, that means you're going to have a lot while you're here because you can't pass down crap. So I'm hoping that you guys hear this video and see it, because I thought that was a great question. He was polite. He was nice. I talked about it on my Facebook, and I was like, that message is out there, but if you don't want that message, it's not going to help. If you reject that message because it don't feel good, it's not going to help. But this is only going to get worse, especially as the economy is going up, inflation is going up. You see gentrification. There's not going to be no more hoods for y'all to hide. They building up Chicago. They go into Brooklyn, the worst areas, and they're building up Brooklyn. 10 years from now, if you don't own wealth, man or woman, if you don't own actual property, you're gonna be in trouble, because rent is not rent no more. Rent is like paying mortgage. So anyway, let's continue real quick.
Your role without money. That's why the lessons say money, good home, friendship.
Now, this one is very important because, as you all know, the Bible says that we are the providers. Naturally, we are the providers. You think about the mother. The mother is the one who bears the children. The mother is the one who has the breast milk to feed the children. The mother is the one who is at home raising the children, teaching the children. The mother is the first teacher. The man is supposed to be the one who's out grinding. The man is supposed to be the one who is out hustling, making the money for the home. But when the mother is put in that position to go out and get the money, that takes away time for her to nurture her child. That takes away time for her to teach her child. So now the child is in the daycare. The daycare is not going to necessarily teach everything that you want them to teach. The daycare is going to put the child in an environment with children that don't believe how you believe, that don't act like you want your child to act, that don't think how you want your child to think. And you can't blame the child for acting how they act when you leave them with somebody for 7 hours a day. Step number 2. The brothers have to have vision. The book said we're looking for a helpmeet. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said a woman can't help a man do nothing. Now, don't take that out of context. That don't mean you can't help a man, but you can't help a man do nothing. If you ask a man what he doing or what you want to do in life and he say nothing, well, you can't help a man do that.
A lazy man who really don't want nothing don't need a wife. If you have no object in life, no vision of where you want to go, you don't need a wife. Every man should know where he wants to go before he seeks someone to help him get there. So brothers, don't tell me you want to get married. If I ask you, what is your vision? What do you like to accomplish in this life? Huh? What? What you mean accomplish? I just want to get married. Where do you want to go? What do you want to do with your life? Because in reality, when you seek a wife, she might have a competing desire. She might know where she wants to go. And maybe you don't want to go there. And maybe if you know where you want to go, she don't want to go there and won't sacrifice to help you get there. Stop. Let's start looking some more then. Because there's somebody out there, brother, that will help you if you know where you want to go.
Now, step number 3 goes to step number 1. Step number 3 is that you need a job. Not just any job, you need a legit job. Not that old, say, bro, you trying to make $2,000 in 3 days? Say, bro, you trying to make $5,000 a week? All you got to do is sign up $500. Say, bro, you got a bank account? You got Chase Bank?
I enjoy this guy. And I appreciate him with his Chicago Bulls hat. I appreciate this young brother right here. This is my proof that it's not a secret. It's not a secret what you need to do. It's just that people make what? Choices. Like I said, you can drink tequila or you can drink Hennessy. Hennessy makes me crazy. I prefer Patron. I don't know why. I can't handle Hennessy. I don't know. I can't. I go to sleep. It's not good. It's not good. But like I said, good choices, bad choices. Okay? You have to make choices. And like I said, life. You make a bad choice. It's okay. It's going to be okay. Turn it around. But if you refuse, reject, and deny, well, that's when that choice becomes ridiculous. If I was to buy Junior's cheesecake every single day for 5 days, I'm just being ridiculous, right? 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 So they literally have 4 tips. I'm not going to play the whole thing. Like I said, if you want to see it for yourself, I'll put the links where in the description box like I always do. But like I said, it's not complicated. It's not complicated. If you're going to tell me that Asian people are doing something magical, or Hispanic people are doing something magical, or Indian people, or Persian, or Middle Eastern, they're not doing anything magical. The magical thing is there's a very strong cultural family unit. The statistics show. You guys, if you watch my channel, if you see my other receipts, you see that having a broken home makes you 10 times more vulnerable to poverty. And forget about the poverty. I care about black women. Sorry, black women. And the reason why I'm telling you that is because I see my sisters with anxiety, depression. I see sisters with 4 degrees calling me for coaching who are stressed out, who are frustrated, who feel bamboozled because they have their own business. They got a PhD and it's not enough. We are alone. We are doing everything alone. And that's not the way it's supposed to be. And then on top of it, these sisters even have children. Raising a child is the most important job ever. I don't have kids. I have a cat. But I know how important it is because I've seen the love and time and tears my mother put into 3 of us. She was a real mom. When I say mom, I don't mean Jerry Springer and bonbons. I mean, this woman was dedicated to our growth and development as human beings. She had things she wanted to pass down to us and made sure we get it. And my father was on board with that. So I'm just going to go to the next one. So I hope I'm making sense here. I hope I'm making sense. I don't think it's complicated. I think it gets complicated because we start getting lost in the why. Why? Why? We start debating about how we got there, how we got there. How you can say why, how, who, like an owl. You could be doing this for the next 2 million years. Get over it. Move forward. Hold yourself accountable. There's always going to be things in history that are messed up, but hold yourself accountable to what you can change and move forward. Or you just want to sit there and feel comfortable in the excuses. Nobody's going to sit here and say the things didn't happen, that didn't happen, and blah, blah, blah. I'm an HR director. I know all about them squishy stuff. I know all about the crazy crap and the unfair conditions. I know about it. I live about it. That's my life. But what I'm trying to say is don't get sucked into the rabbit hole because you can be there. Don't waste your energy. If you want your life to be better, take accountability for what you can change and move forward. I'm not telling you take accountability for things you think that was done wrong to you or the unfairness. And no, it's not about that. You will get stuck. And I think that's what's happening. Y'all getting stuck in the matrix. Y'all like Neo bent the way back. And y'all can't get out that way back bend position. You got to get out the matrix and move forward because the answer's not complicated. And it's not about black women, white women. It's about the culture of you. Because if I take somebody who doesn't have a culture of marriage and put them with a white woman, it's going to be the same thing. She's going to be a baby mama. She's going to have a broken home. If I take that same culture and put him with a Asian, she might be a baby mama, broken home. It's not about the race. It's about what you want to do as a leader and protector. And I made a video about black men and kings. I made it. You can't be a king and complain about your kingdom. Son, that's you. That's you. If I'm in charge of my department as an HR director, which I am, I can't walk around my department saying, where's the payroll? Where's the staffing? Everything's messed up. They're going to start pointing, Miss Walker, that's you. This is you. I am in charge. I can't just take credit when things are going good. I'm the captain of the ship. It's your ship. You got to navigate it. If you don't like how your women is acting, that's you. you have to take charge. You have to take charge. And if you're saying you don't want to do that, then put the crown in the drawer, close the drawer, walk away, and have a nice life. So we're gonna go over here. So if you're still here, this is the juicy part. So they actually got this guy who's a corporate guy. This is the good part. So all right. So this is a part where this hold on, come on. Don't marry career woman. All right? So this is a corporate guy. Money, money, money. I'm going to read it to you real quick. Guys, a word of advice. Marry pretty women or ugly ones. Short ones or tall ones. Blondes or brunettes. Just whatever you do, don't marry a woman with a career. Why? Because if many social scientists are believed, you run a higher risk for having a rocky marriage. While everyone knows that marriage can be stressful, recent studies have found professional women are likely to get divorced, more likely to cheat, less likely to have children, and if they do have kids, they're more likely to be unhappy about it. A recent study in Social Forces, a research journal, found that women, even those with a feminist outlook, are happier when their husband is the primary breadwinner. So this is the problem, I think, that women have. Because I'm looking at it from a woman's perspective. What would a woman have a problem with in that statement? The word is primary breadwinner because nobody likes to feel inadequate. Women have egos too. And if you're staying at home, you're the primary breadwinner too. You might say that's bull. No, 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 it's not bull. Because check the price of a nanny. Go and do how much it costs to have a live-in full-time nanny. It could be up to $100,000. Check the price for a personal chef, a live-in personal chef. Check the price for somebody that runs your errands, concierge. They have these programs. They have them because I use them. Check the price for a maid. Check the price for someone that's gonna, take care of the home. It's expensive. So that's the problem. It's an equal balance of responsibilities. So I think that's why, a lot of women reject this idea and be like, oh my God, that's not true. It is true. I grew up in that household 40 years. But the thing is that society doesn't respect the role that women do. Or you might have the image of the lazy mom who sits home and the house is a mess. The house is filthy. That's a different story, but I'm just talking about facts. If I'm a stay-at-home mom, that means I'm cooking, I'm cleaning, I'm sewing, I'm going to the gym, I'm doing grocery shopping, I'm doing laundry, I'm taking care of the kids, taking the kids to the gyms, karate, ballet, boxing, music classes. And on top of that, I got to keep my body nice, pum pum fresh. I got to make sure I'm going to the gym, hair nut, because you got to make sure you look good. That's part of your feminine allure. Okay, so I think that's the problem. But I'm going to continue. Not a happy conclusion, especially given that many men, particularly successful men, are attracted to women with similar goals and aspirations. And why not? After all, your typical girl is well educated, ambitious, informed, and engaged. All seemingly good things, right? Sure, at least until you get married. Then, to put it bluntly, the more successful she is, likely she's to grow dissatisfied with you. Sound familiar? Okay, so I understand some women are going to be like, oh my God, Connie. But the truth is, I'm a career woman. I work full time. You guys know I do my health coaching, my wealth coaching, career coaching. I have all these side jobs. I do my HR. I do my EEOC filings. So I do all of that. I'm just trying to tell y'all, I can't imagine if I had children and a husband, something would have to give. Even with me being single, it is very hard for me to balance I'm making this video like 2 a.m. in the morning. I have that luxury because there's not a baby or a human crying with Pampers on, or don't have a boyfriend saying, sweetheart, come to bed. So I can understand that. As a career woman, I hold a master's from Cornell. I got a bachelor's in business, and I've been doing this for 18, 17 years. I have like 7 certifications for health and fitness, mental health. I freaking could look like a decorated Marine with all the certificates I have if I were to wear them as medals on my shoulder. But what does that mean for home life? It's complicated. It's complicated. It's very complicated. All right. So Let me continue. Many factors contribute to a stable marriage, including the marital status of your spouse's parents. Folks with divorced parents are significantly more likely to get divorced themselves. Age at first marriage, race, religious beliefs, and socioeconomic status. And of course, many working women are indeed happy and fruitfully married. It's just they're more likely, they are less likely to be so than non-working women. And that, statistically speaking, is the rub. So what kills a lot of women that are feminists, they don't like the facts. They don't like the facts. So they push out this propaganda. I'm not talking about regular feminists that care about domestic abuse, sexual abuse, molested. I'm not talking about I'm talking about the extreme ones that don't want to listen to anything and are telling women that's not true. Yeah, it is true. If a host of studies if a host of studies are to be believed, and just side note, why aren't studies being believed? That's how powerful extreme Super Saiyan Goku, blonde, blue eye, screaming power up feminists are. Because even when they go out and do the statistical research, it doesn't meet what they want. So they don't believe it. Census Bureau, Pew Research, they don't want to listen to it. So anyway, marrying these women is asking for trouble. If they quit their jobs and stay home with the kids, they will be unhappy. Journal of Marriage and Family 2003. They will be unhappy if they make more money than you do. Social Forces 2006. You will be unhappy if they make more money than you do. Journal of Marriage and Family 2001. You will be more likely to fall ill. American Journal of Sociology. Even if your house will be dirtier. Institute for Social Research. Why? Well, despite the fact that the link between work, women, and divorce rates is complex and controversial, which I agree, not everything's black and white. Much of the reasoning is based a lot on economic theory and a bit of common sense. In classic economics, a marriage is at least part an exercise in labor specialization. Traditionally, men have tended to do market or paid work outside the home, and women have tended to do non-market or household work, including raising children. All the work must get done by somebody, and this parent, regardless of who is in the home and who is outside the home, accomplishes that goal. Becker argued that when the labor specialization in a marriage decreases, if, for example, both spouses have careers, the overall value of the marriage is lower for both partners. So I'm going to say it again. The overall value for the marriage is lower for both partners because less of the total needed work is getting done, making life harder for both partners and divorce more likely. And indeed, empirical studies have concluded just that. So this is a case of information being shrouded because of a extreme Goku Super Saiyan agenda. Okay, so I'm going to say that word so this video doesn't get in trouble. So that's what I'm saying, because it's one thing to have your belief, right? And it's one thing to have what you believe. This is America. You have a right to believe anything. If you believe a hamster could be on the moon or a guinea pig could be the next cook, you go, girl. You do what you want. But facts are facts. And we can't look at research and walk away from research because it doesn't suit what we want. It's clearly showing that there's an imbalance. And I think a lot of studies that aren't fact-based do want to latch on to the idea that if you do stay home, you're not working. Like I said, pause this video. Just try to go and hire a professional nanny to live in your home full time. Try to hire a professional personal chef and a professional maid and butler. Try to hire a professional tutor to help your kids with the homework. I guarantee you will run. You will run because I've done it. And I'm embarrassed to tell you how much it is. So anyway, let me continue. In 2004, John H. Johnson examined data from the Survey of Income and Program Participation and concluded that gender has a significant influence on the relationship between work hours increases in the probability of divorce. Women work hours consistently increase divorce, whereas increases in men's work hours often have no statistical effect. And especially, I'm not reading from the study, Black women, side note, we go through extreme stress at work. We're dealing with a new socioeconomic status at work. A lot of black women have been coming to me and facing hostility. That's why I do my HR and my EOC stuff. A lot of black women have been coming to me and telling me they've been facing adversity. And of course you are. Literally, you have an army of black women with masters, PhDs, bachelors, flooding the workforce that was not flooded with women of color. So now you have this tension, this fight going on. So not only is she working in the workforce, she's facing prospectively mental anguish from being in there. The corporate environment can be very hostile. Very. Even women who are not minorities complain about that. So it's not impossible that I see this. Okay, so let me continue. I also find the incidence in divorce is far higher in couples where both spouses are working than in couples that where only one spouse is employed. A few of the studies which have focused on employment as opposed to working hours have concluded that working outside the home actually increases marital stability, at least when the marriage is a happy one. But even in these studies, wives' employment does correlate positively to divorce rates when the marriage of a low marital quality. So one of the things I looked up was like, is it because the married woman can't leave because she's not financially working, which is not true. I thought that too. So when I did my research, I saw that the married stay-at-home mom actually has more reason to get divorced because if she gets divorced, what is it called? Alimony, because she can't live on her own. So not only do you got to pay child support, you got to pay what? Spousal support. So that theory's out the window. Because I said, you know what? Probably the stay-at-home mom don't leave because she feel like she can't go nowhere. That's not true. She even has more of a reason because I was reading if you are in the home and you don't have a job, the government don't want to take care of you. So the husband will have to pay spousal support. So it's even more of a reason for her to say, okay, these nuts, I'm leaving. So that's pretty funny, okay? So there's more. According to a wide-ranging review of the published literature, highly educated people are more likely to have had extramarital affairs. Those with graduate degrees are 1.75 more likely to have cheated than those with high school diplomas. And again, you're having access to other people, less time in the home, and you're just not connecting because you guys are both working. So it's crazy. All right. And if cheating leads to divorce, you're really in trouble. Divorce has been positively correlated with higher rates of alcoholism, clinical depression, and suicide. Other studies have associated divorce with increased rates of cancer, stroke, and sexually transmitted diseases. Plus, divorce is financially devastating. According to one recent study on marriage and divorce impact on wealth, published in the Journal of Sociology, divorced people see their overall net worth drop an average of 77%. So I want to pause right there. Whenever you see the government looking, because the government want their money, they can't get money if your overall net worth is dropping 77%. If you're still with me, God bless you. Thank you so much. If you don't believe in God, rock, sand, grass, oranges, trees, skies, ribbons, roses, whatever. You're not forced. But thank you so much for being here because this is what I'm talking about. This is why they do deep dives. And if you don't like the truth, I don't know, work it out. Do I think there's some gray areas? Yeah. Do I know couples that are working and they're both working and they're very happy? Of course I do. Of course. But there's a medium to that. They did switch and they didn't do it at the same time. Every time I meet a couple like that, like my parents, you can consider them both working because they retired. But they took turns. They did seesaw, up and down. They kind of balanced it out. They didn't both go full throttle without any regard to the situation at hand. So let me read this part. I like this. I like this video. I think I'm doing a good job here. I was nervous to do it with Farrakhan, but I think I needed somebody from a black male side because this is my thing. I'm not here to lead any guy. That's not my job. That's not my role as a woman. What Farrakhan said in this video, I think a man should be saying it. It's not my job. I don't even feel comfortable telling a man to do that stuff. I feel weird because I didn't grow up in that household. I never saw my mom telling my dad, go get a job. Never. I never saw my mom telling a dad, where's the money? We can't pay bills. I never even heard an argument about money. It was weird because they had their roles to play. I'm not exaggerating. Never heard it. Argument about the curry is too spicy, or argument about wash your hands before you come to the table. You're nasty. Stuff like that. But I never heard arguments about, financial, because that stuff was understood. Your role, my role. And that was it. All right, so look at this part. So why not just stay single? Because academically speaking, a solid marriage has a host of benefits beyond just individual happiness. There are broader social and health implications as well. According to 2004 paper entitled What Do Social Scientists Know About the Benefits of Marriage? Marriage is positively associated with better outcomes for children under most circumstances, higher earnings for adult men, and being married and being in a satisfying marriage are positively associated with health and negatively associated with mortality. So that kills my thing. Because I was like, but what if people who are staying married are just married and they're not happy and they're dying? Girls, I did all this nerd work, and Forbes magazine is a respectable neutral publication. So I could not believe what they're talking about, positively associated with health and negatively associated with mortality. So basically, people in these marriages are living longer. They're happier. They're having happier children, better outcomes. The men are being supported by the women who are working at home, and they feel mentally good to go out there and pursue their career. So it's a win-win. He can't get that way without the woman. I mean, I don't know why this is a debate. Look at Michelle Obama and Barack Obama. Look what happened. She had a high-powered lawyer job. He was a high-powered lawyer. She had to fall back. And when she fell back, she played an equally important role. Why do you think he loves her so much? He's always crying, talking about her, because he knows he would not be there today if it wasn't for the type of support and love you get from the wife. It's equally important. It's called pilot to co-pilot. You're both equally important. It's not somebody's better than the other. And I think the biggest problem is a respect factor, acknowledgement factor. So let me finish reading here. In other words, a good marriage is associated with higher income, a longer, healthier life, and better adjusted kids. Let me say it again. In other words, a good marriage is associated with what? Higher income. What else? A longer, healthier life. And what else? Better adjusted kids. Okay? 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 So, I don't know what to say, guys. I don't know what to say. So, this is another Harvard Business Review, and it's the same thing, talking about how the men have been supported. If you can't find a spouse who supports your career, stay single. That's the Harvard Business Review. All right. And let me see. And this is the research that is about staying home moms, stuff like that. And, more moms are becoming stay at home. From the Pew Research study, it's all about at home parents benefit older kids, not just younger. Student studies link kids in childcare with behavioral problems, just like the brother said before, that this is true. You're sending your kids to daycare. Like, I don't have daycare. Like, I don't remember it because my mom was there, but I never thought about it that way. Like, if you're disciplining your child or you're raising your child, especially if you're raising them with any type of moral structure, and they're going to daycare and you got this guy picking his nose or somebody, you don't have no idea what they're being exposed to, because there's other kids from other backgrounds and blah blah, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I never thought about it that deep. You had no idea what your child's being exposed to. All right, so I never thought about that. Okay, a majority of stay-at-home moms consider going back to work, so you can actually go back to work. Okay, all right. So it's just oh, I don't know. A whopping 60% of Americans say a child is better off with at least one parent at the home, according to a Pew Research Center social and demographic trends. All right, so this is why I'm a little bit lost as to why society is having an issue. You know, Penelope Trunk, your family would be better off with a housewife. So would mine. It's not like I'm not going to play that one. It's not like, I don't know what to say. It's not like it's impossible to see what's happening. It's not impossible. And I really believe that, the truth is out there. People are doing it. I did my demographics and I saw the more income people make, the more stable their marriages. And I do think they have external factors, seeing the marriage as a means to pass down generational wealth, build more wealth, and continue their legacy. So I do acknowledge that a lot of these successful people are educated or enlightened enough to acknowledge the functionality and the benefits of a successful marriage. And that's the problem, is that, black men in the black community, I don't know if they get that. But the thing is that it's there. I can't give y'all a pass. When you got people like Louis Farrakhan, if I'm Catholic, I have no Muslims in my family. If I'm able to find that, you can't tell me that that concept is completely forgotten. It's a choice. And like I said, I'm not here to crucify nobody, give you lashes. Someone asked me a question. I do Haspert economics. So I'm thinking, okay, he's asking how can we better it? What's the problem? Do you know what the problem is? Because you read all these books, you do all this research, Connie. And I said, yeah. You're not getting married, and that has a domino effect. It has a triple effect, because without marriage, you're not going to be aggressive to get that higher salary to pay for that wife and kids. Without marriage, you're not going to do things in a structured order. Without marriage, it's just a complete breakdown. And you see, economically, married people make more money, which makes no sense, because that doesn't make any sense. But the reason why is because one person plays a supporting role and the other one plays another supporting role. You're supporting your husband economically, financially, emotionally, by being home. And I say economically because he can't do his part if you're not doing his. You're balancing the checkbook. You're making sure that things are getting paid. You're running his household like a mini corporation. Kids are getting to the doctors, the gym, whatever it may be. And that's the way it's supposed to be. Step away from blaming and just take a look. Look at other demographics. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, this is not an advocacy for you to run out your house and marry the first punani or the first buddy you see outside. This is about, just like when you find a friend. If you got a friend, you're looking for a best friend, and when you did find your best friend, you found a best friend, hopefully, that's compatible, hopefully, to who you are. It's just that simple. And like I said, in life, we all make choices. Cheesecake, bad choice. Celery and carrots, good choice. And it's about what you want to do. Do you want to empower yourself? Do you want to move forward? Do you want to take accountability? Because accountability is power, not excuses. If I want to lose weight, I can complain about PCOS and endometriosis. And guess what? That's actually true. I was 254 pounds. I was Big Mama Cheese in Tijuana. Some call me whatever. But I was big. And I had every single right. I had insulin resistance. I was pre-diabetic. But I bust my booty, making sure I found a way to lose weight, because I didn't want to do it no more. I didn't want to be the brown SpongeBob looking mad square. And I had to do it. I could have easily said, nah, I got PCOS. Nah, I got endometriosis. Nah, I'm insulin resistant. I'm pre-diabetic. I had 5 surgeries in 3 years to remove scar tissue. This might be too much for some guys. You can click off. But the point is, I made my mind not to succumb to that life by any means necessary. I lost 120 pounds, even when my doctor looked me in the eyes and told me, Miss Walker, you're not going to lose weight unless you cut your stomach. I said, what you mean? Gastric bypass. I'm like, oh, hell no. I live for Thanksgiving. That's my life, And he was like, you can't lose the weight. And I remembered asking myself, did I commit myself 100% to losing weight? I know I have these challenges, but am I eating the healthiest I could? Am I working out as much as I could? Am I doing the most that I could? And I had to look myself in the mirror and say no. I had to be honest with myself. I had to look myself in the mirror and say, you know what, Connie? You can do more. Yes, you have these challenges. Yes, you have 2 chronic disorders. Yes, you're insulin resistance. Yes, you got a problem with sugar. But I had to look myself in the eye and say, I want more. And that's all I'm saying. If you want more, acknowledge your errors, move forward. That's it. That's it. It don't got to be this drama. But if you don't want to move forward, if you don't want to take accountability, if you don't want to keep finding comfort in, oh, this person, oh, and that person, then you're never going to go anywhere because that shit is never going to end. There's always going to be someone or something holding you back. Whether it's discrimination or disease or economics, you lost your job, there's always going to be something in some way, shape, or form making it difficult for you to get to your promised land, to your goals. But you got to decide and go forward. All right? I hope you guys enjoyed this video and thank you for listening. I'm sorry I ain't have no more slides, but again, I'll put all these links in the description box. And guys, don't forget, I have Hasbrook Life. If you want to join my private coaching page where I do group coaching and talk about ways specifically how we can get you working and diversify your income, it's a page for women of color. It's $10 to join, $10 a month. I think it's very reasonable because I have mad messages in my inbox, in my YouTube, and I was like, you know what? These questions are great. I'd rather answer them on the private forum. It's about finances and economics and how you can better your life. So guys, thank you so much. Have a great day or evening.